Okay. Wait, what's this? Oh. Okay. Well, this is going to just... Oh, what the heck? Why is it not capturing Brawlhalla? Well, there we go. Don't know what that was, but... So, let's talk about some stuff. And... get that. So, to start things off, I'm actually gonna go onto this map. I forgot they added it. So, why am I making this video? And it's pretty simple. I know this is me making it while in the game. It's a pretty big surprise, but after all of that, and I haven't made anything for this game for a little while. And I know that people are looking for it, but it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to understand after almost 1,400 hours on this game. It just kind of can get stale if you find certain things about it to be too similar, which is one of the reasons that actually is going to lead, that has led to me really not playing, like stop playing this game. Now, it's not anything bad about the devs. Like, the devs aren't bad for trying to keep the game at least similar. And honestly, with how things have gone, I'd say the game is better than when I initially was making the video, so yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what to say, because it really just has become a lot of things adding up that has led to me quitting. Part of it is literally just the combos being kind of similar between weapons in terms of what moves are used. Like, a lot of game characters have the same inputs for combos. Like, down like Nair, it's the same for blasters and bow in terms of inputs. Like, so like Diana doesn't have to do more than one input for downlight Nair. And a lot of weapons have sidelight Nair or downlight Nair. In fact, to show it off, let me just show how many weapons have D-lights there or side lights there. So, start with Bodvar. Since he has two of the weapons with D-lights there, literally. Like that. And then I'm bad at it. Oh wait, it doesn't work at 0 for a hammer, that's right. That's why it doesn't work. I can do Delight Side Light. But you know, Delight's there. On both weapons, even though I'm bad at hammer. Then... Land. Oh wait, no, it's 4 weapons that don't have highlights there. Or delights there. Right? It's 1 frame for this, right? Yeah, it's 1 frame for Lance. But then you have Spear, Sidelights Hair. And then you'll notice no, Lucian would be one I'd want to show off because oh, okay. Blasters and Axe both have sidelights. Well, Blasters doesn't have sidelights here, it has delights there, but you're noticing. Okay. I messed it up there, but you know, sidelights here. Okay, I am. How am I messing that up? Can I jump? Hello? I'm not jumping. Wow, Baraz is freaking bad. I forgot. In terms of, like... I do not... There we go. It is actually a pain for me to get low dex blasters, as you can see. And then we get into bow, which I'll show in... Oh, so bow gauntlets. Let's see. Let's see, blasters, gauntlets. Bow hammer. Bow spear. I'm just trying to show off 2 weapons at once. There we go, Zariel. Then we get into Zariel, and yes, I'm doing this on the worst skin. It's going to do this with. You actually have a bunch of things with gauntlets. I'm messing it up, but you actually do have delights there. Come on, this is Ada. How am I messing this up? There we go. But you're noticing delights there, or sidelights there in a lot of cases. And then cannon. And that's going to be the last weapon I'm gonna... Oh wait, no. Orb. But I'll do Onyx. I haven't gotten esports V2 colors yet, but that's just because I haven't really been watching the streams. Okay, let's... Okay, it does not want... But I'm not hitting the right area to hit it, but let's turn down his damage. Delights there, as you can see. And then I'm gonna find Petra works orb. That was Delight there. Okay, Let's not want to... You actually do have D-lights there. Oh, I just messed it up. I'm messing it up every time. But you have D-light in air. I'm not hitting it. I'm bad. Oh, what? Do you not have D-lights there anymore? No, you do. See? D-lights there. Side lights there as well. Like, both on that one. It's kind of crazy how many weapons have side lights there or Z lights there. Like, Orb has both. And that kind of does point out an issue with the game. Like, why would I be having so many of these combos be the same? Wow. I am surprised no one's actually surpassed me in the time frame I've been gone. But you noticed Lance doesn't have it. Guitars I didn't even pull out because it doesn't have it. Scythe doesn't have it, and Greatsword doesn't have it, but Lance basically has it. Like, I think it might be dex dependent, it might not be. Like Sidelights there, if it's 9 dex, that would be no surprise. Nah. Like, you have Sidelight Nair, but Sidelight Nair is not not as big. At least I can think of. No, technically Sidelight Nair and D-Light Nair is pretty common too. Like, a lot of combos are pretty common amongst weapons if it has it. Like, guitars are unique in the fact that they don't have any of the common combos. Scythe has no combos, but it actually is a very unique weapon because of how it's designed. Greatsword has no light attack combos into aerials. Like grounded light attacks specifically. Like, you have Sair into grounded moves or Dare into certain grounded options. But those are really, and you also have Dare and Air. Like, a lot of people don't know, Dare and Air is still in the game. It's just, it's a very short window. I'll even show it, because I know the exact window for 6 defense. So let's get you to the mid. And then let's change Caspian to cross. Make you the same. Great sword. But there you go. Still a true combo. I actually listed the window in my Discord. It's 190 to 200, 210. Like, either 200 or 210 or something like that. But a lot of weapons don't feel like Greatsword or Scythe in the uniqueness. Like, guitars even kind of feel like they rely on something. Like, how many combo starters come off of Sidelight or D-Light? Well, the answer is these two have D-Light. Blasters has D-Light. Spear has D-Light. Lance has Sidelight. Katars have Sidelight. You notice only 2 moves I've mentioned. And then Axe has Sidelight. Then Bow has D-Light. And then Gauntlets have D-Light. And then after Gauntlets, Scythe has nothing right now. Cannon has D-Light, I think. Sidelight. No, Sidelight doesn't. And then Orb has Sidelight and D-Light. And Greatsword has Sidelight. There's no N-Light combo starter at all. Like, straight up. I'll tell you that right now. There used to be. But if you have a D-Light and Sidelight combo starter but no N-Light combo starters, that's a problem. Actually, well, Orb has like 1 combo out of N-Light, but actually it might not even be a combo out of N-Light, it might just be a combo into N-Light. Let me check. Wasn't it like N-Light dash D-Light or something like that? It was something strange. I need it to be not high. No, it wasn't that. Was it that? I thought N-Light. No, it was Dare and Light was the combo I was thinking of. But you have nothing out of N-Light into something on any weapon. Like, it feels like you have no jab combo type weapon. Like, Greatsword. N-Light does not have a combo. Like, you can combo into N-Light, but that's it. Like, N-Light on Katar's string starter. Not even a combo starter. And that's a big issue. Is there's no N-Light combos. I think there's weapons with like nair combos, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, let me think. Let me check, actually. No. There actually used to be on that one. No to Spear. No to Katars, no to Axe. No to Bow. I think Gauntlets Gauntlets had one. I think they have nair recovery still, but they don't have, like, it's not really a combo starter outside of that. Scythe used to have one. Cannon never had one. That was a kill move. Orb used to have nair combos. They removed them. And Greatsword doesn't have nair combos, so no weapon has current nair combos. Some weapons used to have them, and I think that's really a big thing. Nair has combos on weapons like blasters, hammer, spear. Tars I think had one, but it might have been patched out just by the changes to Katar's hair. Axe never had them. Bow has them. Gauntlets have them. Not very many of them, but it does have some. Scythe doesn't have any. Cannon has one. And Greatsword has none, I don't think. And then Greatsword has like one or two, maybe three. But they're at low damage. And then Dare, Sword has none now. Hammer has like one or two, I think. I know Blasters doesn't have any. Spear doesn't have any. Lance does have one. I almost said didn't have any, but it does. Then Bow has some, or had some. I'm not sure if they removed them, but Katars has one out of there. Axe has none. Actually, no, Axe has one. Bow has some. Gauntlets used to have. No, it doesn't even have. No, it used to have them a long time ago, but not anymore. Scythe used to have some. Like, Scythe used to have so many combos. Cannon has none. Orb has one, I think. And Greatsword has 3 or 2. Like 2 or 3. Like Dare Nair and landing. It's like that weird Nair into like Bridge and Light. It's the third variation of Dare. But you have to. It's in between that landing and aerial version. So yeah. That's a big thing to talk about, is like most weapons. You noticed I said yes or no on something. Like Nair, every weapon was a no for combos. It used to have some. I feel like Orb would be unique if it still had Orb Nair combos. Like, it feels like they removed some of the variety by nerfing some weapons. And then at the same time, they really should like remove other combos from other weapons on top of it. D-Light and Sig is such a common, like, such a common true combo. It's insane. Like, even after they removed like 3 or 4 characters, 3 or 4 from the list, a lot of characters still have it. In fact, that's a reason I don't like Hammer, is because it's such a common one, and they removed it from like 2 or 3 Hammer characters. Like, 3 or 4 Blasters characters have it. It's insane. Like, Blasters and Hammer literally makes D-Light and Sig not interesting. And there's like very few true combos into Sigs, but having them is kind of nice. But when it's the same thing for most of it, it kind of feels bland. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. The next thing, the community can be kind of awful. Like, everyone can agree there. I know they've recently changed one thing about, like, non-custom games. Like, if you're not in a custom game, you don't have this anymore. I know that was a change. I'm okay with that. I feel like that was really what made part of the community really bad to try to play with. Like, some people were genuinely awful. then the biggest thing about that, and after that, is more about a personal thing. Like, you notice there really hasn't been a tournament in a while, and part of that is just due to the things that happened. Like, that's another thing that really has hurt. And yeah, as you can see, I'm tier 1 in this battle pass. I would not even attempt to do it. Like, yeah. But, if anything, it's just feels like they just didn't do a lot to improve the game for uniqueness. Like, I'm not gonna say everything they did was bad, because that's a lie. Like, on top of it, like, the SIGs don't feel unique enough, as weird as that sounds. Like the only character with truly unique SIGs is Yumiko. Like, those 2D SIGs are some of the most interesting SIGs in the entire game, because one, they're not kill moves, they are combo moves for SIGs. Like, yeah, there's differentiation between the SIGs. I will say that's not the only thing. Like, there's only a few characters who can charge a SIG and hit the opponent before they charge it. Specifically, as in, like, not a combo into the SIG, but the SIG has a hitbox type idea. Like Koji, Dusk, Thor, Mako. There's more than that, I can tell you that right now. Even Magyar has it. I believe I still haven't named them all. I think I've named all except for like 1 or 2. And that should say something. Like, they're not very common, but that's what makes them unique. And they're not all on the same SIG either. Like, the first one is a sword side SIG. And whenever you get to, like, Mako, it's a D-SIG. Thor, a D-SIG. Dusk, it's a side SIG, but it's still unique. And then the multi-part SIGs are just more animation and slower. I feel that doesn't make them interesting necessarily. On top of it, some SIGs have utility, some SIGs are spikes. Like, that's just kind of a thing. And it doesn't make them feel unique in every aspect. But certain SIGs are actually just better than others. Like, I'd say Ragnarok's D6's pretty unique. Which Reno has a blaster D-SIG of the same type of thing, but it does have flaws. Like, it's different from Ragnarok's D-SIG as well. And that's one thing that I will say they did decent in that. Like, some SIGs are unique, but not all of them are. The SIGs with active input, they do exist, of course, and those are fairly unique. But we haven't gotten enough utility SIGs, or SIGs that are just weak in strength that can combo. Like, I'm not saying make a set knockback SIG, I'm saying make a SIG that's like Falco up smash, where it's a combo tool, not a kill move that for the entire time it's used. Like, there are SIGs that are literally just projectiles, even. Like, Fate has one with Scythe. we don't have enough of those. I feel like if you made a character with like just projectiles as SIGs, that would be very unique. Because with blasters, you don't really get projectiles, you get something closer to what bow has, which is a line. And technically, you have fate is kind of like that, but at the same time, I think, let's look at the hitbox. They do have the hitbox shown. Petra, I believe, also has one. Okay, so let's go ahead and show hitboxes. Yeah, it's a projectile, straight up, as you can see. Petra? A side sig, but it's still that. It's a projectile. Like, I'll even show it. It is orb side sig. You'll notice projectile. Like, actually interesting. Not every sig is like that. I think actually Caspian even has a side sig that's kind of like a projectile. I know Sidra has one, but it's an end sig. Like, if there was a character with all kinds of projectiles, it'd actually be interesting. Like, we don't actually have that. That is actually, I think, the first projectile sig, now that I think about it. But there really isn't there isn't enough interesting SIGs. And that's what I feel is the thing. Like, yes, most of the newer characters are better about this, but the majority of characters are not great about it. And like, kill confirms in this game are just pretty consistent. Like, I was just showing off at the beginning. So yeah. And I know it's a rant, but at the same time, you've also got to think, how many SIGs are in this game, and how many feel unique? Like, the animation's pretty on newer SIGs for the most part. Like, older SIGs, there's some SIGs that look great, but I feel that currently, the game doesn't feel interesting enough because of the lack of certain things being in the game. Like, we don't have a true zoning weapon. Like, orb isn't a zoning weapon, it's like, it's short range, but it feels so short that it doesn't feel like a zoning weapon. Blasters, a lot of people would be like, oh, that's, if you call orb a zoning weapon, you call blasters a zoning weapon. No, actually, I'd say blasters are kind of just not a zoning weapon because they just don't work like a proper zoning weapon. Like, I don't get why people, if they say, oh, orb feels closer to a zoning weapon. I've played zoners in Smash, and blasters just doesn't feel like that. Yeah, it can be a wall, it can wall you out, but it doesn't wall you out in the same way as zoner does. Like, it'll put a hitbox in a short area. Like, it doesn't put projectile zoning type things. It puts more just walls of hitboxes, which you can do with pretty much every weapon that is fast. Like, let's say you wanted to wall somebody out with spear by being passive. You could. It's like, you can't use the argument for blasters to call it a zoning weapon at that point, because it's not really that. it doesn't have moving hitboxes, as weird as it sounds. As weird as it would look. Like, it looks like it should, but, like, every other weapon feels like it is too similar at that point. Like, there are spiking SIGs, but a lot of spiking SIGs don't feel unique anymore, just because of the fact that they are on a lot of characters. Like, I know not every character has a spike that is just a straight spike. A ground pound in every weapon is either a semi-spike or a spike. I think Greatsword's is one of the semi-spikes, but like sword, hammer, both are spikes, blasters is a spike, spear is actually the most unique one, as weird as it is. It's not a spike or a semi-spike. It just sends at a bad angle. Lance is a spike. Katar's is a spike. And pretty much 90% of the ground pounds are spikes when you hit it at a certain angle. Like, I know Axe ground pound is just a good example of something that is a spike, but can also semi-spike you or just kill you in any direction. Like, I'd say Axe ground pound's one of the more unique ground pounds, just because it doesn't do it. You can use it differently. Like, not all moves are used differently, and that's a key thing. Like, nairs are, like, animations a lot of the times are pretty unique. Like, well, except for like certain ones. Like, I'd say sword and axe nair are not very good examples of good nairs to like continue to use. Like, yeah, you've got blaster nair, which is very similar to cannon nair, but that's in the animation idea. Like, it's just shots up in the air, but blaster nair's a two-hit move, which is actually the thing. And if you get into the nitty-gritty, nairs are fairly good in terms of like what they do. Like, nair on blasters is a juggling tool. Like, you can get down into it and be correct, but I feel nairs are not unique enough. Like, it, just because pretty much a lot of them are either kill moves or string tools that are pretty much for juggling. It just doesn't feel right. Honestly, orb nair used to be an amazing move, and I wish it was better and comboed still. And that's why I'm like, orb nair would be great to see again as a combo move, because that really is what made it unique from the other nairs, is it wasn't a juggling tool. It was a combo tool that could work as a juggling tool. And, well, Gauntlet Nair is probably the most unique nair in the game because of this. Outside of, like, Scythe. So you've got, like, very few interesting nairs. Because Scythe has technically two nairs, and one's a kill move and the other's just a utility move for either throwing people off stage further or just getting people off stage, or strings. Like, that's actually fairly good. Like, I think some nairs in this game are amazing. Like, that's one of the things that quitting this game doesn't make me feel bad. Like, that's why I say Axe is, like, Axe is one of those weapons that I actually still enjoy, but I feel my favorite weapons by far in the current state of the game are Scythe and Greatsword. And I've told people that weapons don't feel unique enough, like recently. I know I haven't told people on my Discord that, but I can point out so many flaws that could be fixed, like in a few patches. But at the same time, not all of them need to be fixed, like for me to want to play the game again. It's gotten to the point where the game just isn't fun because of so many aspects that built up over the time that I've played this. So yeah. But do I think the game is bad? No. I think it's good. It just needs some tweaks before it's amazing. So yeah, I think that should wrap everything up, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a video if you still are here. Bye bye.